Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's Eagle Talks Football, and we are back again with another video. Today, what we're going to be talking about is Arsenal. Can they survive the gauntlet of Spurs away and Man City away, and will we still be in touching distance of the top spot in the Premier League after those two fixtures? Also, Liverpool have a problem, and we need to discuss this problem. They have three players, key players: Mo Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent Alexander-Arnold, who are so close to their contracts having to be renewed, or else they could be leaving on a free. So we'll need to discuss that. Today, I don't think there's any Manchester United rep coming on. So Sophie and the Manchester United fans, you escape one day of talking about TEN HAG's future. So no need to worry about that. But Chelsea have an issue. Chelsea have an ownership civil war on their hands. And we're going to have to talk about Todd, Boehly, and Clearlake trying to buy each other out to see who's going to come out on top. Similar situation happened at Arsenal. It did not benefit us on the pitch, I'll tell you that. But at the end, once it was over, it was a little bit better. And finally, we got to talk about Pep and Manchester City's complaints about fixtures, about too many games, but yet they want to enter every single tournament and play all the preseason games possible. Is it valid? Is it an excuse? We need to know. But before we go any further, let me bring in my wonderful panel. And don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, because I need your support to help grow the channel. And of course, get these beautiful videos to more wonderful people. Please do me that favor and hit that like button right now. But before we go any further, I'm going to do it in reverse order. The first person to come in, of course, is Deo. Big up Deo. Deo cut his hair, guys. He was not always bald, best believe. he had a full head of hair, and he's gonna grow it back. But how you doing, Deo?
I'm good, man. Thanks for inviting me, man. I'm doing good. It's a nice, chill Sunday. So yeah, a lot to talk about. Let's hit it. Let's do it.
There you go. Next, we got Rack. We got the Liverpool fan in the building. Rack, you got a problem, and we got to talk about it.
Is it my haircut? Are you going to talk about my haircut?
No.
You're talking about Dave's haircut. I also had my haircut, by the way. I also had my haircut. You didn't notice that one, did you?
Your haircut's immaculate. Don't worry. Your barber needs a tip.
He's on point.
I know you guys do that over here. And then next we got the Canadian in the building, bro. Why don't you put "Why Always Me" Man City behind you? You got the Canadians in NXT for international break, eh?
International break. I gotta represent. You know what it is. Canada 2-1 over USA. Got to flex a little bit today. Flex a little bit.
I'll tell you right now, USA is not looking good. They're going to be hosting with Canada and Mexico, and they're not looking prepared, in my opinion.
Potch out. I already hear them saying potch out over there.
The US women's team should represent them.
That's a shout.
So
I see. You know what?
Women's team.
When you can't beat them, sorry, Dale. When you can't beat them, join them. I see you doing your Professor Hamza impersonation. I see it. I see the haircut. See how you move in?
No. I just, when you wake up one day and you're just like, all right, done with this dreads for now. Like, I'm just like, I just woke up and I was like,
can you show us? Is there any hair follicles there?
Yeah, there's hair follicles.
Yeah, you can see the hairline. The hairline's strong.
I've got hair follicles.
You're good, then.
I'm good. I just woke up and I was like, nah, done. And I actually just took my clip and just went,
damn,
took it off myself. Yeah, it wasn't.
So when they see you at work, they're gonna be like, yo, whoa.
Yeah, when I go in tomorrow, it's going to be like, what happened to your hair? Like, I don't know.
You're going to be like that pitch invader at the England game. Did you guys see that?
No, what happened?
You never seen the pitch invader in the England game? Oh my God. So there's a pitch invader.
Yeah, some random guy just came to conduct the England team.
And they thought he was Harry Maguire for a second. No, bro, you think I'm joking. The guy literally was full kit, dressed up, everything. Like, he was fully dressed up as an England player. He's wearing the shoes. He has boots on, socks, shorts.
That's
top.
Clever.
Yeah, but the old school fans are.
Didn't stop him. They thought he was Harry Maguire.
So there's the old school fans will know this. Actually, it's not even that old school, but I think it was the Champions League final between Chelsea and United. There was basically someone came and joined the United side who came with a Cantona 7 t-shirt. And basically it was the same kind of thing. So this stuff has happened before. That guy, I think, was a specialist. He'd done it in a few other games as well. But nice. Yeah, it did kind of remind me of this. He's got the wrong kit though, right?
I seen this. I started creasing. I was dying of laughter. I was dying of laughter. What also, there's also some other stuff that I seen online, but I think I was gonna actually start with other people, but since Vader's here, maybe we should start with Vader's team. Maybe we should begin with Manchester City and all the complaining they've been doing lately, all the whining, all the whinging. Like, Vader, do you have an idea what I'm saying? Because right now, you guys have Pep Guardiola and Man City have a problem. Too many fixtures, too many games. We're supposed to play in the Club World Cup in the summer. You're supposed to play all these games in the league. You're supposed to play all the cup games, the Champions League games. And your players are saying enough is enough. We don't have enough. We don't have any time for ourselves. We don't have any time to rest. You have Kevin De Bruyne coming out saying,
why are you using that voice?
Kevin De Bruyne came out and said that UEFA and FIFA need to do something. Adding extra time to matches is an issue. Raised concerns over the amount of minutes that we're playing in a season. Money speaks louder than voices. You know what?
Why do you sound like you don't
like you? Let me finish. He might have a point. But then Bernardo Silva coming out saying the schedule is crazy. We're receiving news that we're only getting 1 day off before the English Cup. And then he's saying problem is playing 3 days, every 3 days for a month. It'd be absolutely absurd. Also saying in the Champions League, if we don't qualify to the round of 16, then we still will be playing 2 more games on top of that, regardless. So when will I have time for my family, friends? The amount of games are absurd. And to me, just before you go and attack me, I need to say 3 things. One, I think this is true. There is a lot of games being played.
Okay, you think it's true?
Also, you can look at it from the club side of things. Money is the main reason and the driver. These guys are paid employees. The Man City wants to make as much money as possible. So do the leagues and the respective organizations running these leagues. Also, Man City, you guys have a expansive preseason. You don't necessarily need to have that expansive preseason in that case. Hence why you took a lot of kids. You didn't play majority of your first teamers. Also, you don't necessarily have to play them in the Carabao Cup or FA Cup. We've seen Liverpool not bring them to the Carabao Cup when they're playing in the Club World Cup. They didn't complain. They had literally a game 1 day apart in 2 different countries, and they found a way. Also, finally, I think there's a psychological edge that you can get from these kind of situations. When you have a team constantly drilling into their team and their players that they have a problem, that problem can sometimes turn into a psychological problem where you feel more fatigued, where you feel more annoyed, where you feel more you have more issues now that you have more games being played, more minutes being used on your body, and it can just play with your mind. But yeah, Man City having issues with the schedule and the schedule being crazy. It's not the first time, not the second time, not the third time we heard from it, but it is being drilled and spoken to us a lot from the league champions. 100%. And I just do think you guys are slightly preparing your excuses in the case that you inevitably do end up losing eventually.
All right, you said a lot there in terms of what you listed out. The first thing that you said is that you do agree. You do agree that the number of games being played is getting too excessive. You mentioned the money and everything like that. Now, I would have to say the players are absolutely right with regards to the number of games that are added to the calendar every year. Because not only is it the English Premier League, not only if you want to look at League Cup, FA Cup, you want to look at Champions League that changed their format 2 additional games before you even make it on or not make it based off of qualification. You want to look at international friendlies. Everybody is trying to get their hand in it. Everybody is trying to make as much money as they can off of these players. So if UEFA can add a few games, if FIFA can add a few games, if the Premier League, not necessarily adding a few games, but if they manage the schedule where it becomes so condensed that there's game after game after game, shout out to Jay, then it becomes a problem. Now, you were saying all this with a smirk on your face. And I got to be honest with you, everybody in the chat, it was bothering me. Because you're saying all this with a smirk, but it affects all of us, Igal. It affects
My team
all
is
of
not in
us.
the Club World Cup in the summer.
Currently, but they will in the future. And you're thinking short-sighted if you're not seeing the concerns moving forward. You eventually will be playing in these competitions. You will also have these same concerns for your. No, 1 second, Dale, because Igal was talking for a minute. Now, I want to point out: do the fans of football, do the fans of these leagues, do they tune in? Do they show up just for Arsenal to be playing? Just for Spurs to be playing, just for Manchester City to be playing, or do they show up with the expectation of seeing 1 second, and I shout out to Rack, or do they show up to see the club or the stars of those clubs? Do they expect to see the KDBs, the Hollands, right? When you pointed out off season, let me be honest with you, Pep does not treat the off season as a huge preparation for the season. The reason why we traditionally start slow is because Pep is trying to see whether these young players, where these new additions to the squad can actually make it. And then we kind of figure it out through the season. But the offseason, yeah, we brought tons of EDS kids and we were just trying to figure it out. He said the first teamers, Foden, I don't want to see you. Rodri, I definitely don't want to see you. Holland, okay, you didn't play internationally. Let me catch you come on this tour. But the majority, even KDB, was like, listen, chill. I don't need to see any of you guys. It needs to change. The fixtures need to change. These players really only get a month off. If you count international and you count pro club, they get a month off. That's not sustainable. And something's got to give. I think, in my humble opinion, if it were me, I would set the expectation for all of these fans to see the club. You're there to see the club. If KDB, Holland, Grealish, Doku don't play, they don't play because our manager is managing the entire season. So when it comes to these additional games in Champions League, League Cup, FA Cup, expect that. But I don't think the organization, I don't think the organizers want that. The organizers are trying to get the stars in everything. So don't be short-sighted, Igal, because this is going to be your problem soon enough.
I think you're ignoring the part where I said Man City can do things to Man City and the manager can do things to evade this issue by giving their players rest and playing weaker sides in certain competitions. I hear that. But my main thing is you guys are in the Club World Cup. You guys are in all these competitions because of your own team's success. Hence why you could uninvite yourself to the Club World Cup. You'd never do that, but you could.
Why would
you could just play a weaker side in some of these other competitions. You could just do that. You don't necessarily have to.
Let me ask you this.
You don't necessarily have to compete and play your best players in every game.
You're not going to say that in skate, Gal. You're not going to say that in skate. What competition would you say play a weaker squad to? What competition would
the League
Cup? Why
rounds of the FA Cup?
Why disrespect that cup?
No, it's not disrespecting the cup. If you believe in your academy players, your academy players should be good enough to go up against a League One side or something like that.
Is your manager going to play academy players?
Yeah, he will. This year he will.
Okay. All right.
Even last year we
played a whole 11 of academy players.
Even last
year,
had
no choice.
We played.
You have a choice. You always have a choice.
Vado, I have a solution for this, right? I agree with you that there's a lot of games, which is fair. But as a fan, I don't mind a lot of games because I want to watch football all the time, right? As a fan. Exactly. But as a human being, I have to obviously be very considerate of the people who are doing this job. So I think the solution is clubs need to get together and put together a proposal together, UEFA, FIFA, and the FA to say we need a larger squad depth. We can't just register 24 players for the season and be in all these tournaments. We need to be able to say, like, how they moved substitution from 3 to 5 years ago when it was only 3 to 5. We need to be able to say, okay, if your club is in more than 4 tournaments, you can add 5 extra players or 4 extra players to your list. That can actually, No, I'm saying because if you have a slim squad, injuries are a factor. You're playing in 4 tournaments. You're playing in the Club World Cup. You're playing international for your country. Before you know, the players are burnt out. And then the game is no longer as fun as it is when, just like Vader said, you come watch your team and none of your top players can play because they got injured at international tournaments or they played 25 games and they could not, So my thing is, I think that if clubs come together and kind of ask for a bigger squad, that would be something that then you can then say, I have more to pull from and I can play this 11 in this tournament and this 11 for the league, and then maybe select my best guys for like the Champions League and whatever else it is. I think that would be a better solution.
Is it a valid excuse or is it an
I agree.
It is. Igal.
Hold on, one sec.
It is a valid. It is a valid.
Hold on. What do you mean excuse? Sorry.
It is. Listen, it is a valid excuse.
Hold on.
Every year.
No, hold on, bro. Before you even
what I'm saying, I was still speaking. Now you've come in.
Bro, but you start.
You missed my whole soliloquy.
Guys don't know how to behave.
One second. Deo, let me just clarify. He missed my whole soliloquy. My point was, on one hand, it is valid. On the other hand, you could also say it's an excuse, as they are going to be playing a lot of games and they're preparing for the inevitable issues that could arise from it.
How can it be an excuse if the person who's talking about it wins everything? It's
no, because eventually they're going to fall off.
No, because they're the best people to make the point because they win. So it's not sour grapes. It's not any. They're like saying that, listen, guys, like we're winning everything. Like,
but then if they don't win this year, they're gonna say, "Look at the fixtures."
Let me explain. The point is, every year somehow UEFA and FIFA and countries find a way to play extra games, extra international games. Look at the way they've restructured UEFA this year. There's more games to be played than what the system was last year. So, which means, yes, you're adding additional games to what these players have to do. So it is a valid excuse to say, look, there's a lot of games to be played.
Excuse what though?
No, because listen. No, it is valid to complain about it when every year.
Yeah, it's valid to complain.
When every year they find a way to change the system and add 2, 3, 4 more games to your calendar, 2, 3, 4 more games to your calendar for everybody. And the truth is, it's eventually going to take its toll. For like the teams who are in the Champions League this season, in Europa this season, with the way the schedule is, you're no longer playing a team of home and away 4. You're playing 8. You're like literally going like home here, away here. Like it's crazy. The traveling.
Dale, can I add to that?
Let me just make a point though.
Let me.
We all agree that this is a valid issue, but my thing is, Man City's manager and multiple players from Manchester City mentioning this, can it not be a psychological disadvantage also?
No, the reason they are mentioning it, Igal, is because of this. They are the ones who are playing.
You know you're a psyche guy. Be honest. We've seen
psycho.
Rack, you've seen it. Rack, you're on mute.
No,
Rack,
but Igal, the thing is,
you've seen this with Liverpool. Rack's seen this with Liverpool.
No, but hold on, Igal.
We don't want 12:30 kickoffs. They play 12:30 kickoffs. They draw.
Yeah, but Igal, hold on, Igal, because the thing is that you're running with so many narratives here. There's like you're not even letting one narrative because you go to me and you run a narrative. Then you go to Rax and you run a narrative. You go to Dale and you run a narrative. And everyone then wants to talk on the point that you're making, but we can't because everyone wants to answer your question, but then everyone's like, oh, so my point is that first of all, City go deep in all competitions all the time. Yeah, like it's not like. Listen, I don't want to throw a shot at Arsenal, but it's not like Arsenal going out in like the 4th round or losing to Liverpool at home or something. It's like Liverpool played, what was it, like every game possible the other season. Like, so I just look at it from the point of view of saying, see, you took so long, somebody's arrived to tell me to be quiet. No, I think it's a good point. Someone like KDB making the point makes sense. Big man in the game. He's got like credibility, you know. It's not like a little person. He's experienced, and I think Deo's point about the squad is bang on. I think that football with the intensity and how they play, an extra 2 players, I think would make the squads 27-man squads. Let them register 19 non-homegrown players, and that to me would be a really. Just 2. You'd only need 2 extra players, and I think that would soak up a lot. And I agree because they did it with the World Cup, and they did it with other things where there's more teams who play at a high international standard, so they expanded the World Cup. Because when they originally created the concept, like it didn't take into account the amount of teams in the world that would develop and get to a international level. So yeah, there's that.
Let me also add. Let me add. 1 second, Igal, you're on mute. Let me add to what Dale was saying. Dale mentioned
on his way.
Okay. Dale mentioned the difference in Europa. sorry, in Champions League. You cannot now, have your wins and then kind of coast. Because it's the league format, it really all depends on what everyone else does on whether you fit within the qualifiers. So there's no it's going to require a lot more computations to be like, you know what, we're actually safe. We can play the kids now and maybe relax and afford to potentially drop points. But the format is so much different that it is going to be demanding on being at your best. And all Pep is saying, all Bernardo Silva saying, all KDB saying, and again, when you're at the top and you're saying, guys, this is a lot. So we all need to take a step back and look at things differently. If we were losers talking about this, you think anybody would pay any attention? You think anybody would actually take some account? No. But you say it now because it does affect everybody. And when Klopp was saying it a couple seasons ago when they were going on their quad chase, it was the same thing. But again, he said it you're on mute again, rightfully so, because you're interrupting.
Even then, people were saying, stop complaining about 12:30 kickoffs because it's negatively impacting your team.
No, the 12:30 kickoffs was very different. And it's come to light that they have such a tremendous fan base or attention or eyeballs over in Asia that's the reason why the league
that was the reason. The main reason for that, Igal, the 12:30 kickoff was not because Klopp thought that the players would not be ready for the game as well. I mean, of course, maybe that eventually affected them. We don't know. But the truth was because of the media coverage in Asia.
The money.
Like the money.
I want to know, right? Do you think
it's
those
not,
conversations about 12:30
because yes, we have a big fan base in Asia, but the people who dictate that are BT Sport and whatever they're called now, then the TNT or whatever it's called. They choose a 12:30 kickoff. It's the Asian channels. They already have all of this. I'm sure all 360 games in the Premier League are all available to you. In England, there's only a select number of games available, so the broadcasters choose. We got chosen by BT Sport and TNT Sport specifically because they won us at those times. And obviously, BT Sport, TNT Sports, their audience isn't in the Far East.
Can I just say that with the bridge, I never knew that he had a ponytail. Do you see what I mean? Because I always see him front on. I always see him front on. And so just then he was turned. I was like, oh, wow, he's got a ponytail. I was like, and Rax is making a great point. But the biggest point that I know is Bridge has a ponytail. So
that's
welcome.
money here for you, man.
I always see him front on. I've never seen him tilt his head. Insane. Yeah, it's real. Honestly, it's like man discovering fire. Sorry, Rax,
all right.
Anyway, so aside from that,
we spent 20 minutes on this.
Okay, but I just want to say, if ever there's a bone to pick with Vader, I'm the man to pick it. But on this occasion, just like my former manager Jurgen Klopp said, Vader, and Pep Guardiola, and all the Man City players are complaining. They're absolutely correct.
Listen, I'm just saying, when everyone's complaining, it can
Vader, you're supposed to doff your cap to me. You're supposed to say
one thing. I will say, if I may,
I'm not saying you guys complaining is going to mean the reason why you lose. I'm just saying it can maybe affect you and your fatigue levels when everyone's saying we're going to get tired.
Sigmund Freud over here. Sigmund Freud has decided that there's the possibility.
I just want to say quickly, guys.
It's showing mentality. Okay, so the opposite argument can be made also.
I would just want to say quickly on this in regards to this, bro. It's a lot of complaining going on. At the end of the day, guys, this is just the new reality of football. So all you can really do, in my personal opinion, increase your squad sizes. If you're at the upper echelon of football, try to get 2 or 3 more players in that can switch around with your main starters that might have to be at same quality. That's just the reality, bro. You're not going to stop. So as of right now, you're not going to be able to change it. So that's just me.
Fair enough. There's two clubs we need to talk about next. But which one do we begin with? Do we start with the one that has a problem or the one that has a civil war? I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the problem.
Are they both a problem? They're both a problem.
No.
They both have a problem.
Your situation is definitely a problem. Now, let's start with Liverpool. If you guys don't know, Liverpool have Trent, Van Dijk, and Mo Salah's contracts running out at the end of the summer. Is that not a problem?
Yep. Not really, it is a big problem.
It is a problem.
When you have look, Liverpool in the Klopp era,
which is over, by the way.
Most of the main guys were arguably Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson, Trent. Obviously, we had a lot of great players, yeah. But I think most people will probably concur that those four were probably the main guys. If you've got 3 of those 4 that are potentially leaving at the end of the season, yes, absolutely it's a problem.
So my question to you is, what do you think the club is going to do? Are they gonna risk losing all 3? Do you think they'll keep 2 and lose 1? If you were to make an educated guess based on what you know right now, say Mo Salah leaves, do you think Trent and Van Dijk stay? Do you think all 3 of them leave? What do you think the case? What do you think the scenario is? And I want to know everyone else here. Let me know, how do you think Liverpool gets around this problem? Because we could talk about how they're doing right now. They're looking good first 3 games of the season, but they have this problem looming over their heads. We see that with Arsenal when we had Alexis Sanchez. You see that with Chelsea with Rudiger and all these other players leaving. I don't know if we've really seen that at Man City or Tottenham. You guys kind of really are good at tying down the players that you have, but it's happened to all of us in the past. So
KDB's contract expires. KDB's contract expires at the end of the season as well, if I remember correctly.
Or does he not have an option? Oh,
yeah, but KDB, he's already won everything.
And apart from that, again, you got
but I'm saying
they're already offering.
Not as young as Trent and Van Dijk and Salah, in my opinion.
So yeah, look, I think the club should make an effort to keep all of them. I think Trent obviously is younger than the other 2. So absolutely, he's a homegrown player. He's he's the essence of Liverpool, right? So we need to do everything we need to keep him.
Wait, who's the essence? Sorry, who's the essence of Liverpool?
Trent.
He's
a young. He's like your Phil Foden, right? You don't want to lose your homegrown, the embodiment of your club.
Okay.
And Van Dijk playing as centre back, I think potentially as centre back, as we've seen, if you're a world class centre back like Thiago Silva, you have that ability to play a little bit longer at that kind of level as a centre back as opposed to a forward. I think Salah is a difficult one to say, not because I don't think we should keep him, but we've seen it before with forward players. Sometimes they can drop off the face of the map, or there's a possibility that that their form can change quite rapidly. I don't think that will happen with Mo Salah, but we just don't know. I remember at the end of last season, people were saying, and the thing is, quite often people say stuff without actually any data to support it or whatever. They were saying, Salah looks like he's lost a yard of pace. Maybe now's the time to cash in. And then all of a sudden he starts playing 3 games this season. He looks sharp. He looks fit. He looks ready to go. He scores 3 goals, 3 assists. They're like, oh no, we need to tie him down. We need to. I want us to.
Can I? I just
want to finish. Look, I want us to tie him down. I want us to tie him down, but I also want us to say to be smart about it. And I think if we can give Salah an extra couple of years and tie the other 2 down for at least an extra couple of years, I think that would be good going. And
I have a conspiracy theory.
Okay, go ahead. What's your conspiracy? I love conspiracies.
It's not, that doesn't involve 9/11, does it?
No, it doesn't. But I think what Liverpool has done this season by not spending so much money is next season they're going to actually go and get players who are just almost as good, who are available on the market to fill those positions as well, and then give these guys 1 year extra contract.
I thought the same thing last summer.
I'm telling you. No. But here's the deal. If they give Salah 1 year contract extra, 2026, Van Dijk, and they give Trent maybe a 3 year, because Trent is younger, 3-4 years or whatever the case is. But now they now have enough money next season, hopefully, to be able to say, okay, let's go buy a Salah replacement who's younger, who will interchange with Salah for this next 1 year, and then he takes on that role. Let's go get a VVD replacement in that position as well. Same thing. I think that them not spending money this season, they don't have an excuse next season not to be able to do that. They should be able to afford to be able to give, renew 3 contracts for a year or 2 and get players to become the next
my question, sorry, that was weird. Something just stuck out there. Sorry, there we go. Now we're fine. No, I was just gonna say quickly, what Dio is saying should be happening this season, though, no? Because if we're being honest, it should realistically be happening this season. Why you have
Because is this not the perfect opportunity to do what they're doing if you're going to do it? New manager coming in, gets to assess the squad, see players that potentially can grow into the team and grow into positions that he might not even rate start off with. And then also options-wise, like, for example, you might look at Salah and say, I think personally, someone like Mbeumo is the kind of player Liverpool might consider, like, for that long term. And maybe you want to, because they like, I think Mbeumo and Bowen are kind of.
I don't think he can replicate anywhere near Salah's goal involvement.
Well, I think what first of all, when you look at Salah's numbers, you have to also understand that how many players
can replicate that. How many can replicate that?
Exactly, the newer generation, they don't have the consistency of what Salah has. So you do just need to look at players who put up good numbers, outperform their XG, have good, and someone like Mbeumo at 24, 25, that's the kind of profile. And I think Liverpool, like looking at the Zubin, and I think even with Spurs this summer, as an example, is that sometimes clubs will look at this now and say, I'd rather buy an Archie Gray or an Odegaard, than buy the wrong player. Because if I'm going to, so it's either don't buy or buy someone young that's moldable. Like, do you know what I mean?
But buying someone young can also be a risk because then that player could never be good enough.
But are you not like but again, are you not like kind of like making my point where I'm saying to you, you have the main guy that's still producing for you, but at least the understudies there to learn from them. Because
Ahmed, but that's what the market. Ahmed, look at the market. If the players that they want are not available this summer window, why go and spend money buying a young? So my point is, the players that you have can work for this season with the new manager. What the new manager can actually get to, analyze the team, pick out what he wants to do, figure out his style. And the players that this manager wants are not available. Zubimendi, fine, turn them down, whatever the case is. That was the player that you could tell that the manager wanted and the club wanted, but it didn't work out. So if these players are not available, I think you're doing your club.
Rodrigo's a good shout.
I think you're doing your club an injustice if you just decide to just go buy somebody young. Look, why not use your academy players right now with the team that you have? You have this money saved. You're waiting for the right players. It might be January that you find that right winger who's available, who's new contract, has a release clause. It might be towards the end of the summer. So it's that's what
what are you saying before I give my thoughts on this?
I'm going to quickly say that this isn't a Liverpool problem. Liverpool have been showing, right, when Rax was at the top of the hill talking all big and bad, he was saying, like, look how efficient.
Hey, I'm still there, man. I'm still there.
Hey, you're not quite at the top.
Don't talk in the past. Don't talk in the past.
No, it is the past.
They are top of the league right now.
Past tense.
Oh my goodness! All right, three games in.
We'll
three
get
games
into
in,
that
and
in a
now Rax
second.
got big chest. But when they were doing their thing, they kept reminding all of us, the board, FSG, Moneyball. We're so efficient. We do things the right way. So the fact that
they never evolved. They stayed as Pikachu.
Well, they may have stayed as Pikachu, but
what does it mean to evolve? It means that then just start buying.
Like, you guys continue to keep the same type of recruitment strategy, even when you were now recruiting at a level where you're one of the best teams in the world. You still try to recruit like Moneyball, do those things.
But that's what everybody's trying to do.
No,
right?
once you get to a certain level, you need to be recruiting players that can improve your team right away.
I don't want to.
Interesting.
But Salah improved Liverpool right away. Fabinho improved Liverpool right away.
Season, right?
Mane improved Liverpool right away. Fabinho improved Liverpool right away. Van Dijk improved Liverpool right away.
And then after that, Jota. And you took a long break, and then you brought in Jota.
Players you could have named, you went with Jota, who's actually sick.
No.
He could have gone Minamino. He could have gone Minamino.
And then the only player you brought in of that ilk was Jota.
Pardon?
No. I'm not saying Jota was a flop. I'm saying Jota was one of their best signings they made post Van Dijk. After that, majority of their signings have not been really good.
But if you look at it like this, and I want to be fair.
Kanate improved Liverpool right away.
Kanate was a good price, but the thing about Alisson was like a high fee for a goalie. Van Dijk was a big fee. The only reason they got Salah for so cheap was, if you remember, Salah came just before Neymar left. And Neymar's the one that then adjusted all the prices in the market. Had Liverpool bought Salah?
Actually, Pogba, I would argue. Pogba's
No,
not
it's
bad.
not 100%. No.
I disagree.
It was the
You guys
Neymar.
remember Kabak Phillips?
Bro, it was the Neymar transfer, that window, yeah. And then all of a sudden, the prices just went insane. And I was looking at it. Liverpool bought Salah before Neymar went to PSG, and so the market still had a sense of
No, but also remember we bought him from we bought Alisson from Roma, right? The season before we bought Salah. Salah absolutely killed it when he came to Liverpool, and Roma actually felt like they got shortchanged out of it.
But even that summer, Neymar went later. Had Neymar gone at the beginning of the summer,
also around Salah, there was a lot of stuff, right? Because he was available. I was watching a podcast a couple of days ago with Ian Graham, who was basically our director of research at the time. He's recently brought out a book. I'm going to plug his book, even though I don't know him. Ian Graham, How to Win the Premier League. Available in all good bookshops. This
is like that meme when they say they celebrate celebrities.
One second. Let me just say this though. To get back on topic, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think he ends up at Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid offer him ridiculous wages. They offer him a position to be the number 2 for Real Madrid for the foreseeable future, playing at right back, and he will be their right back equivalent of Marcelo for the foreseeable future. I know that's a crazy shout. Marcelo did a lot, but really and truly, is it that crazy? And how Trent has been performing for the last 6-7 years? And also, the thing is, Trent will have to be willingly wanting to leave Liverpool. If he was to leave Liverpool, the only club I can see him going to is Real Madrid. I don't see him taking a move to Bayern. I don't see him taking a move to another team in the Premier League. He is the vice captain. He's one of their homegrown boys. If he goes to Real Madrid, it makes sense. Let me finish. I got one more. Mo Salah. Mo Salah probably wants to stay. If Liverpool are willing to give him what he wants. If they don't want to give him what he wants, What do you think is a fair amount? Considering right now he's on 350 grand a week. 3-year deal on improved wages.
You want to be the second highest paid player in the league.
Okay,
you know what I would say.
So say a 3-year deal. He's on 350 grand a week at the moment, right? So let's say a 3-year deal of 400 grand a week. Is that more or less what you think is fair?
That's great for him, bad for FSG. That's great for Mo.
This is the question. Now, think about it as the club, and you could say FSG, but let's think about it as the club. Do you think at this point, because remember, based on when you pay that money, you're not paying it for past performance, you're paying it for future performance. Do you think that's likely to get a good return on your investment?
No.
You know what I would say?
Exactly. There you go.
You know what I would say, guys? What I would say.
I also think. Sorry, Ahmed. I also think if Liverpool lose all 3 of them, they got their money's worth.
You don't even need to. I don't think you need to.
Yeah, we already have had our money's worth, but we don't. We shouldn't lose them now if we can avoid it. I would try and keep Salah. I think there was one of the guys who said that I don't think Salah's going to sign a 1-year deal. I think Mixed Mitchell said something like that. I agree. I don't think he will sign a 1-year deal. Maybe we could do like a 2, like starting from the start of the season, 2+1 or something like that.
50% think all 3 stay. Crazy.
I think for me, all you need to do, man, you need to sign them to contracts only just because of the fact of the money you can get back in transfers. Salah, for example, to Saudi Arabia, you're going to get.
But that's what we thought with.
There's 1 second.
Just to give you an example, I thought that when we signed Ozil to the contract, yeah, we can get money for him. Aubameyang to the contract, yeah, we can get money for him. We had to sell both of them for free.
No, but the difference is, I think the difference is, bro. If FSG are truly trying to bring in someone next season, right? All you do, get Salah to sign a contract this season, and then you move on in the summer for the money that you want him to get. You want to get for him. And the thing is, the Saudi market will always want Salah. Like I think
Saudi market will always be there for Salah. That's fair,
exactly.
That's
so you know what? At the very least, and I think for me, then when it comes to Van Dijk, you can probably get a good 20-30 million.
Van Dijk is the most likely to stay out of all 3.
I disagree. I disagree.
Look, I hate to say it again.
The thing is,
all 3 of them are staying. I hate to say it.
I could see Van Dijk going to Liverpool.
All 3.
Vader, stop being a hater. Vader, stop being a hater.
I'm trying to get a word in.
I see you shaking your head there. I see you shaking your head there.
Why are you shaking your head?
Let me try to say this.
Hey, Van Dijk to Real Madrid too? Hey, I could see that happening, because they need the CB.
No, Van Dijk's a Barcelona fan.
You guys can see it. Hold on. Whenever I hear a Chelsea fan talking about transfer windows, I stay quiet. I stay quiet because they know the business, right? The Bridge has been covering transfers all season for the last 3 seasons. So I listen. I find it incredible if FSG, Rax doesn't like when I say this, but when Liverpool are going to choose to extend a contract to a 32-year-old forward, they're going to look to extend a contract to a 33-year-old center back. And I get them looking to extend a contract to a 25-year-old in Trent. That makes a lot of sense. But those other players, if it's anything more than a 1+1 around that line,
Yeah, that's what it
it's
needs to
real
be,
risky. So when the Bridge is speaking transfers and says, you know what, these guys should be looking to go, I'm going to listen because Chelsea no transfers.
Well,
Yeah,
but
hold on.
Van Dijk right now. People may have differing opinions, right? But Van Dijk right now is he's clearly the best centre back in the world. There isn't anybody close to him now. So he's. I go. You can say Saliba and what. He's clearly the best centre back in the world. Okay. How far do you think he's going to fall in the next 2-3 years? Like, do you think he's going to fall off the face of the earth? I don't think so. Even if he falls down and he becomes, the top 10, yes, as Bridge said earlier on, we've already got our money. We've already got our money for him, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, he's still going to be playing at a good level. I think the most likely to fall off is Salah because forwards need that burst of pace. But Salah has also developed his game. He's more of a playmaker at the moment. You can see with the assists and the opportunities he creates for others that his game isn't purely scoring anymore. So, I think there's a balance to be had there.
Rack, by the way, Van Dijk is top 3. He's not the best. He hasn't been the best in the Premier League for the last 2 seasons, and he's not been the best in Europe for the last 3 seasons.
You can say all this stuff, but regardless of which partner he plays with, the Liverpool defence. Remember, we've had Joe Gomez, we've had Ibu Konate, we've had what's his name, the young kid who came in. We had Joe. Regardless of who he plays with, if Saliba loses Gabriel or Gabriel loses Saliba, we've seen what happens with Arsenal's defence. It falls apart. Right, you've got a defensive structure around. You've got a defensive structure around him. But that's fine. That's how you've constructed. Saliba is much younger. I'm not dissing. No, but I'm not dissing him. But how many central defenders have you got? How many central defenders have you got? How many central defenders have come around who aren't reliant on the central defensive partner, right? We had Terry. Terry had Carvalho, right? Carvalho and what's his name? Cahill, right? Rio only played. Yeah, okay, but Rio only played well. Who did he only play well with? With Vidic, right? When Rio played with any other centre back at Man United, when Rio played with John Terry at England, was that a good centre back pairing?
I mean, hold on. You got
one second. You talk about centre back pairing, but you ignore that you have the best goalkeeper in the Premier League behind him. Also, so in one breath you're saying he doesn't have that great centre back pairing, but in the other breath you could argue he has a much better goalkeeper behind him.
I'm not saying he doesn't have a. I'm saying he has a constantly. I'm saying he has a constantly revolving centre back pairing. He has no consistent centre back, and despite the fact that,
let's keep it real.
So, but Rax, here's what I wanted to say.
And finally, before you go, Deo, just one more take. If you tell me that Van Dijk has had a better season than Saliba the last 2 years in the Premier League, I don't think you can do that.
But what do you mean by don't do that?
As an individual player,
Van Dijk is better in the air. He's a better long distance passer. He's a better short distance passer. He's a better goal scorer.
Who? Center backs.
Rax, how many years are you giving Van Dijk contract? How many more years?
I
would give him a 3-year contract.
Wow.
I mean,
the previous best centre back in the world, Thiago Silva, he played.
I thought you were going to say Van Dijk.
The previous.
I would agree. I would only give him 2, but I think 2 + 1. But like in terms of how he plays, and he obviously hasn't got the pace that he quite used to, but he's not as reliant on pace. And with his frame and his running style, he still covers grass, quick for his age and stuff. And was he 32? 33. So I could see him playing for Liverpool until 35. I could see
Van Dijk playing.
The question is, I think the question with Van Dijk is, whether he actually wants to stay. Because I know Liverpool fans have come out and said they.
I feel on a trajectory. Van Dijk and Salah want to stay. Trent's the wild card, because if you really think about it,
but the thing is, what the reason why I say that is that I can understand why Van Dijk, who could basically play for any team in the world, he may say, you know what, I've played 6 years at Liverpool, I can go to Real Madrid or Barca. The question is whether financially, because let's not forget, Barca are in a great situation financially. Real Madrid obviously have, but maybe they've got a full quota of centre backs and all that kind of stuff. I can understand if Van Dijk was given an opportunity to go to Real Madrid for free. He was like, you know what, I'm 32, 33 years old. I can go and play 2 or 3 years in Madrid, have a good lifestyle. It's a new challenge. I've been at Liverpool for the last 6, 7 years. As a human being, I can understand that. And if that happened, that would be a massive, massive hole for us to fill.
Of the 3 players, of the 3 players up with regards to their contracts, because their contracts expire 2025. Yeah. Of the 3, which one are you most concerned that Real Madrid will come knocking and get them on a free? Because they've been doing that as of late.
Has to be Trent.
It would be Van Dijk or Trent, and I would say just because the noises that people have been saying. I don't know whether that is actually factually true, because I don't know if there's been actual concrete links.
Because Carvajal's old, bro.
No, I know, but you understand. Carvajal is old is not a link, right? Oh, they have been saying it because those are 2 different things, right? There's no direct link there.
The best link as a Carvajal
report. So those are links. Carvajal is old, is not a link.
Yeah, I'll help you out slightly. The Real Madrid have been linked to, like, for example, before Reece James was like really injury prone, they were linked to Reece James for like quite a bit. Even last season, they were actually linked to him. So they probably are on some level looking for like a right back replacement. So
maybe
be on that list, if that makes sense, right? So
all right,
that's what
guys, we're gonna have to move on to the civil war at Chelsea, because we spent a lot of time on this one. If you guys don't know what's going on at Chelsea, it's actually crazy. They've gone from taking over the club just well over a year ago. Don't do this, Ahmed.
That's good.
So you know who reported this one, Rack? You're gonna love this. Bloomberg reported this, so it's not just a link. It's coming from one of the top,
I heard that. Listen, you guys, I follow the business of football quite closely. So Bloomberg and what's his name, the guy from the Mail, what's his name, the reporter, he's big on Chelsea.
Kinsella. Is it Kinsella?
No, not him.
He's BBC. Matt Law's another one.
Matt Law was talking about it yesterday.
Matt Law's a Telegraph, yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so this is getting interesting. So Chelsea have a civil war where Todd Boehly believes the situation with Clearlake is untenable. Reported today by Matt Law, right? There's specific words, untenable. The situation is that Todd Boehly wants to take over the entire club. Clearlake have a significant share in Chelsea right now, and they want to take over the club. If I'm not mistaken, Ahmed, you can fill in the blanks. Bloomberg said that the relationship has deteriorated to the point where Todd Boehly and the people at Clearlake don't want anything to do with each other. And Todd Boehly even was considering selling his shares, but now he wants to buy the full club. And Ahmed, you're the Chelsea fan. You let me know. What are you thinking? Who would you rather have and trust to take full ownership? Would it be Todd Boehly or would it be Clearlake?
I just want to say I'm tired. Chelsea, I'm tired. I'm just tired, boss. You know what I mean? I'm tired, boss, bro. You know, I feel like I've been in like a peak HBO show since 2019, bro. Like at Chelsea Football Club, bro. I've had peaks, I've had troughs and peaks in it. So it is what it is, man. At the end of the day, I just think for me when it comes to
who's humming?
Who's humming?
I'm humming sad music. I'm humming sad music for you. Keep talking.
Sorry, I can't focus with that. Sorry, I'm one of those type of guys. My apologies, bro. But one thing I will say about this is just that it's not even a footballing reason that the issue is going on right now. Apparently, it's to do with like the commercial side of it in regards to the stadium building and like the Chelsea and how they're building the Chelsea brand. Essentially, it's not even like a footballing issue. So like it's just like. Why, like, can you not sort this when you guys were coming into business initially, when you were buying the club initially? What was the plan going then, and what was going on afterwards, if that makes sense? So that was the main thing, my main issue personally. Secondly, I think my problem is, even if let's say I was to say, okay, Todd Boehly, I want you to be the one that's the head of my football club. You're now again raising you've raised 2.5 billion or 2.3 billion apparently. That's how much is raised already from investors, right? You're gonna run into a similar situation, which we've done with Clearlake, where if you don't agree with them, you're gonna have to bow down to some level to the investors you've now brought in, right? Who are not Clearlake. So for me personally, it's just like, I don't understand this thing from Boehly's perspective of, okay, I'm gonna raise more money, try to get control of the club, but then it's like I've still got investors that I still have to speak to, I still have to engage with. So from that perspective, it doesn't make sense to me. Now, I think I'm very neutral on whoever I want to bring in. I think at the end of the day, if they're still doing the same sporting structure, it's not. I don't really see what the difference is going to be at that point. And like for me right now, the thing I would say I want is continuity. Clearlake has been doing the transfers since I think winter last, the first winter transfer where we had all those big breaking ones, Madueke, Mudryk, etc. That's when they started to get influential in the club, and they've been continuing to do so ever since. So for me, I'm quite neutral on it, but at the end of the day, bro, all I want is peace.
You're no neutral. How are you neutral?
Why can't I be neutral? Why can't I be neutral on this?
You're a fan. You obviously want what's best for the club. And what do you think?
No, but what I mean by that is that, again, the reality is, bro, if there's no change in the footballing situation, bro, all I really care, if it's a commercial thing, bro, again, I don't know that much on commercial stuff, bro. So, like, again, that's out of my hands. That's out of my hands. I don't really understand that, bro. I need to actually research that first before I make decisions. Because as of right now, that's why I'm neutral right now. Because I don't know who wants what. And like the thing about Chelsea right now, yeah, is just like, you'll get conflicting reports that, oh, Boehly wants to make the big signings. He's the one that wants to do this. He's the one that wants to do that, bro.
They're throwing him under the bus.
Yeah, like so they're trying to make it look like Boehly's the glory guy and then Iqbal like the bad guy, right? Whereas I feel like there's a bit of a middle ground, if that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, bro, they were making decisions together, right? So there has to be some level of like middle ground where we can't say one thing is completely true and then the other thing is not completely true, right? There's going to be so many conflicting reports right now that it's not gonna, all you're going to be getting right now is just a whole load of PR. Like you actually need to wait.
Let me hear from the boys, guys. Who thinks this is terrible for Chelsea, and who thinks this is good for Chelsea?
This is absolutely terrible for Chelsea. This is. This is.
Vader, say it with a straight face. Say it with a straight face. Come on.
No. Oh, okay. This is absolutely terrible for Chelsea. Absolutely terrible. This is when you expose, what is it? Desperate Housewives or soap operas, whatever the soaps are. This is what's happening in front of everybody. You don't want this exposed. You don't want this type of civil war. You don't want this infighting. And the fact that it's happening also speaks to from early days, right? From early days with change of philosophy, bringing in Sterling, now getting Sterling out. All of these changes, Tuchel, not Tuchel, all of this speaks to not being on the same page. So this is absolutely terrible for what's been happening ever since the takeover. Now, whoever ends up as the majority owner, the decision maker, I think that's what most Chelsea fans should want. Whether you can pick a side, like I understand what the bridge is saying. I can't really choose. I don't know who to decide on because I'm hearing conflicting stories. But what you do want is resolution. You want one person to be the head in charge, making the decision.
There is, but that's not really the case, my bro. You know what I mean? The funny thing is that I forgot to mention this. Clearlake Capital owns 60% of the club. Boehly only owns like I think 10 to 50% of the club.
No, but ownership and decision making is where this is all being really confused, right?
And the thing is, like the ownership and decision making has been done for the last 2 years by the 60% majority owners. So he's not been doing anything. So it's like, again, like it's all. I get that you might be. Listen, unless you've got the capital to change something, then do it. And then the other side agrees with you, then yes. But the other side is telling you, I don't want to sell. I want to stay at this club.
Yeah, but you do know that the other 38% of whatever it is that is left is owned by not just Todd Boehly. There's two other people involved with him. Some Walters guy.
Yeah, but they're
a Swiss guy.
But they're silent investors. Those guys are, they're silent investors, bro. So
no, I agree with you. I'm saying
but it's whoever they do have some. So basically, if you reach 75%,
you can take.
If you reach 75%, then you have the ability to then.
That's what I wanted to tell him.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. No. Go on. No. The financial.
If you have the 75% threshold, you can basically Arsenal. That's the reason why Usmanov couldn't what's it called had to sell his shares voluntarily because he had 30% of Arsenal that wasn't enough for the American guys. Who's your Cronkies? The Cronkies couldn't force him to buy out. Basically, it became a staying power thing, and ultimately he realised that he was never going to be able to buy Arsenal, and so they made a deal, and then he sold his shares because it was stalemate essentially. So whoever gets to that 75% threshold can then basically force the purchase of the other.
That even though they're silent, right? Ahmed, even though they're silent, if Clearlake is smart, those are the guys you want to hit at and be like, hey,
problem is that they're unironically Todd Boehly's guys. Like,
I don't know. They might be they might be his guys, but the point
is,
they might be.
I know
his
what
guys,
you mean, bro.
but the point is, if you give them an offer that they can't refuse, they would be able to say to Boehly, look, let's just pull out of this particular deal. We'll go do something else somewhere else. Let's take our money and let's move somewhere else, right? But if
I don't think Todd Boehly can afford to buy them out. He needs another investment.
He would bring somebody else. He would bring somebody else.
To back your point, bro. He already came out that he's already tried to raise. He's about to raise again 2.3 billion apparently. Like he's already got investors ready to do that for him to raise. I think 2.3 billion.
Wow.
Hey, we'll have to wait and see. Personally, for me, I think it's always better when you have one majority shareholder who's taking control of all the decisions, so they know they can get the investment and invest and then get the money back themselves rather than feeding a bunch of other people with their investments. Now, that's what happened to Arsenal. And until we got that sorted, it negatively affected our performances on the pitch because there was mismanagement and the people at the top were not really working in conjunction, and it can cause trickle effect downwards. But as long as you guys are protected, you guys are protected from that by the manager and the people who are in charge now, and they don't make further changes and mistakes.
So
because that caused the whole ripple effect. For 2 years, everything at Arsenal Football Club changed.
Yeah, you know what I will say to you, Gal? Again, the footballing stuff has not changed at Chelsea for the last 2 years since Boehly has not been involved in the club. He's not been involved in the club for the last 2 years. The footballing things will remain the same, even if he tries to muscle in on some level. The other ownership has been doing it for 2 years, and they've got a 60% kind of like ownership as of currently, until something changes, of course. But
fair enough. Jay, you got any talks on this before we move on?
You know what? Like, I loathe to defend Chelsea. I loathe because they are just a ridiculous institution. Because like even like
listen to Jay's tone of voice. Just the disdain in his tone of voice.
That's the disdain of a Spurs fan, man. I hear it, man.
Yeah,
big up to my guy, man. Big up to my guy.
To be fair to them, right? To be fair to Chelsea, right? These kind of owner conflicts, everyone not getting a lot. It happens sometimes with these kind of mergers and stuff like that. People have different ideas and visions for what the club is. So I mean, I think it's like it's a bit of salacious gossip, isn't it? It's like, oh, did you hear what Boehly did? Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. Like, it's not really like a big thing. I'm not sure the impact. It's like, as a fan of a rival team, like I don't know the material impact it's gonna have on Chelsea Football Club in terms of on the pitch. So for me, it's something for me to observe and see how it plays out a little bit, because I don't really have.
Let me ask you another question then. I'm going to ask everyone this question.
Yes.
Who will have a better season, Raheem Sterling or Jadon Sancho?
Oh, that's a good question. That is
everyone in the comment section. Let me know.
Igal, I've been on your show for a while, yeah, and that is genuinely the best question you've asked in a long time.
Wow!
A long time.
Wow! You're going to let him through that.
I don't know if that's an indication of the quality of Igal's shows or the fact it's a very good question.
That's
I don't know.
Igal,
I think you're dissing.
Igal, you got to let
at this point you're dissing.
You're going to let the Tottenham fans do that to you.
You took that could be a compliment. In another breath, it could just be like all your questions have always been.
Listen. I meant it to be ambiguous. Really. Sorry, Dale. Go on.
I think you're going to let the Tottenham fan do this to you, Gal.
Hey, no,
he was the one speaking, so I'm going to give it to him first. Let the unbiased people speak before we speak.
Look at the answers, Iga. Look at the chat. Keep the answers coming, because it's a straight split in the answers. That's why I'm saying it's such a great question. Because my immediate response was, I don't know. And I was like, I'm going to need to further analyze this.
So let's go to Vader. Former Man City player. Jadon Sancho, former Man City player. Raheem Sterling. Who's going to have a better season?
Not because we signed him. I think that Raheem
1 second, Deo. It's not your turn yet.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. Okay,
Look
sorry,
at
my
him.
bad.
They always ready with his speeches, man.
bad.
About
Yeah,
why he's
man,
supposed
Dale's
to-
already
Dale's
ready.
like,
You know
it's
what I mean?
always my turn. I like the
You know what I
energy.
mean?
I like the
I know,
mentality.
I know. His
My
office.
bad.
You
My
know,
bad.
Dale's got a
he's
teleprompter
got
right
his
in front
notes
of him. He's ready.
for why the Sterling's better
Oh,
than
go
Sancho.
ahead. Go ahead. What do you call it?
Yeah. Listen.
My brother.
Both players have been over at Manchester City. They've done their journeys. What I've seen as of late, I can't ignore the experience and quality of Sterling. And he was even showing that on his final, quote unquote, his final days over at Manchester City. That I mean, Rax is still upset, but that comeback that we had against Aston Villa, Sterling sparked that. Sterling sparked that cross over the box that had Gundogan had headed in, and then the rest was history, right? So Sterling's been that guy. I think going over to Chelsea at the time that he did, because originally he went there with Tuchel, it was very promising. But hey, the bridge, they've been complaining about disasters and new ownership and everything ever since. It's been a crazy spot over there. I think he's going to rejuvenate his career going over at Arsenal. I saw the promo video. It pissed me off, but I saw the promo video of him rededicating himself and going to make this a season. I'm seeing training footage all over my timeline because of the Arsenal fans that are a part of my timeline already, and they're posting on how good he looks. I think he's going to have the better season of Sancho. Sancho, again, in the system in particular, I don't think he's aggressive enough. I don't think he's direct enough. And from what we're seeing from the new Chelsea coach, you're welcome, by the way, is that he's looking for that versatile, direct forward. And I think it bodes well for Sterling this season, not Sancho.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the one that's Premier League proven. That's not always the be all and end all, but Sterling has done it at the highest level in the Premier League and in Europe, and Sancho has yet to do so. He was great in the Bundesliga, and I think there's something to be said for that. But I think he's still unproven, and the Premier League is arguably the toughest league in the world to do it in. And what we've seen so far, he hasn't proven himself. So maybe he will, and then at which point I'll be happy to give him his flowers.
I'm simply just gonna keep it simple. I'm biased. I can't pick Sancho over Sterling. And also, I do think what Sterling said today in one of his interviews, I think is a key point that we should mention. He said coming to Arsenal where there's togetherness. He mentioned something. It's nice to be somewhere where everyone's together. You could take that as shots at Chelsea, or you could just say, you know what, with a lot of changeover,
he's an experienced player. He knows exactly what he's saying. That is absolutely, absolutely a shot.
At Arsenal, where there's more structure and there's been some solidity from top to bottom for the last couple of years, there's definitely a lot more togetherness. Where at Chelsea, you just look at how Cole Palmer has been striving. It's a lot of chaos. But these guys have been some of their players have been striving. Where Raheem Sterling, he's not really a player who performs well in chaos. He's more organized and always has been. But yeah,
that's also why I wasn't.
You can call me biased. That's my take on it.
No, but that's also why I'm surprised, because they were Arsenal fans. I can't remember if you were one of them or not, but who didn't want Sterling because they thought he was going to.
It wasn't ambitious.
Like I didn't really understand. Why would you turn down a player of that experience who's going to add firepower?
I wanted the flashy new toy. Don't get me wrong.
Can I?
Good honesty, girl. I appreciate the honesty. Self-reflection is not. He said, "Listen, I wanted one of these sexy, flexy era division wingers with no back history, but cost us 30-something
I wanted
million."
Nico Williams, just won the Euros, highly rated, comes into our team. We beat Barcelona to a signing. It's a statement signing. When was the last time we beat Barcelona?
And then you woke up.
But this is Igal, this is the thing for me though. Like, and I hear you on that. That would have been nice, but it's this statement signing thing is so annoying. It gets under my skin. I hate it so much. And I'll tell you why. Statement signings does not guarantee anything. He comes in, he gets injured, and for the whole season he's out. What are we talking about here? Like, getting the right profile,
Why
right?
being
Of
so
a player.
pessimistic?
I'll give you a good example. Raheem Sterling in his worst season at Chelsea last year had 8 goals and 4 assists in the games that he played. His worst season, a 12 GA. If he gave us 12 GA last season, we win the league. If we had Raheem Sterling last season with a 12 GA, we win the league. what Raheem Sterling gave Chelsea last season, if that was at Arsenal.
It was a good
So
save.
for me, it's more about getting the right profile, and I think he will have a better season than Jadon Sancho, because Sancho hasn't done it yet in the Premiership, like everybody said. So yeah,
Ahmed, back your boy. What are you saying?
I don't need to say anything. I think it's going to be Sancho. I know what. I don't even need to speak about Sterling. You know, I understand when people say he's Prem proven, etc. But listen, I'm going to be very
Whoa! Sorry. You think Sancho's going to have a better season at Chelsea than Sterling will at Arsenal?
Yeah, and listen, I know what I saw at Chelsea. That's what I'm going to say. I know what I saw about Sterling at Chelsea, and you know, people can say it's just because we're a bit chaotic, which to an extent, yes, can be true. But I'll be real. He just as much played a part in the chaos that he speaks about, and togetherness that he likes to talk about at the end of the day. So listen, that's he plays a major part in that. So listen, all I'm gonna say to you is that when I'm just gonna say a lot of people are thinking Sterling's gonna get revitalized this season. I'm just gonna say watch this season, because my gut is never wrong about a player. So that's all I will say.
He said never. He said never wrong.
Guys, the
My
show
gut is never wrong about
this.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
you mentioned to clip it.
Quick questions, quick fire. This one's about Ange and your team, Jay. Tottenham fans are turning on Ange Postecoglu, calling him
No, they're
stubborn.
not.
Ahead,
No, they're not.
bro, I seen it. I seen posts from Tottenham fans.
Hey,
turning on
listen,
Ange saying, if he
the
loses
emptiest
derby-
vessels make the most noise. Remember that. Remember that. I need you to remember that. Hold that close to your heart. When you're looking,
two glasses of wine and the poet in
I'm
Jason's
like, Othello.
One second, Jay. Are Tottenham fans turning on Ange?
I think that, from my point of view, I think that sometimes there's a psychosis that occurs when you don't win for a long time. Yeah, and some I don't know if you've seen The Walking Dead. I don't know if you've seen that. There's like some of these fans are dead inside, and the psycho. Jokes aside, it's like if you're in the back of a car and you're trying to get to a destination, if you constantly ask if you're there yet, you're gonna annoy everybody in the car. So the way I look at it is, Spurs have issues, logically, like any team would have a year into trying to overhaul the tactical style of play and this and that. Some criticism is fair, some criticism is unfair. I'm a fan of Tottenham Hotspur. I'm not a critic of Tottenham Hotspur. I'll leave that to you guys. Do you know what I mean? So from my point of view, my job is like, the team is doing all right. We have a fantastic opportunity to put a statement on our season so far when we play Arsenal, because Arsenal have got City the following week away. So when people talk about it, it's like, I think that there's obviously going to be valid criticisms of what the team's trying to do, and there's going to be valid criticisms about how the team's defending, the high line, not taking your chances. It's cool. Like, it's the Premier League. We're a league where people are going to analyze a lot. But I know, in terms of, if you have Conte, people will be saying you don't attack enough. You can't break teams down. You're not able to. So whatever manager you have, you're going to have a certain level of inefficiencies or issues that the manager is going to need to work through to get to where he wants the team to be. It's normal. Same fans were moaning when we had Conte and Mourinho saying we're too defensive. Same fans moaning about Ange saying we're too attacking. They want it's like Goldilocks.
Jay, can I ask you something?
They want the porridge just right. And I get it, but like, maybe you're going to have to eat a fair amount of porridge before it gets to be just right.
The Goldilocks analogy is amazing.
Oh, man.
Jay, can I ask you
know
something?
What? 2 glasses of wine and the poet is fine. 3 glasses and it all goes downhill. Now his man's talking about, he's talking
3
about
glasses
porridge.
and the poet's divine.
Listen, before Vader says anything, do me a favor. We have 200 people in the chat. Please do hit that like button right now. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost a single penny. And of course, it helps the channel out massively. You guys support the channel out massively. So please do that right now. Also, make sure you guys check out the guys here and their channels. Of course, we got the bridge. That's Ahmed's channel. We got Vader Game TV, and of course, what is it? Banter on the Pitch. And we're waiting for Jay and Rax channel to come out of nowhere eventually.
Yeah. We need an egg Ballon to join me and Rax. You know, someone who wants to take over and help us run the thing. That's all we need. Need anyone in the chat, if you want to be invited
Jay,
to Rax,
can I ask you a question? Jay, can I ask you a question? Is there anything else in that wine?
Hey,
Hey, that's crazy.
It's technically a spiced rum, and we were very liberal on the rum and very stingy on the lemonade. So
all right, guys, we don't promote alcohol. Let's keep it moving.
Oh, sorry.
Next,
hold on. Let me just. I want to ask Jay this real question because, unlike other Spurs fans, I don't know how Jay's able to deal with the disappointment of not seeing trophies raised or having the club play for. So
get to the point quickly. Get to the point quickly, please, man.
Okay. So
can you beat Arsenal next week?
Jay's able to handle it, but I'm just saying the fan base that quote unquote are kind of turning right now.
Yeah. So
is it not expected? Is it not expected of you guys to defeat Arsenal without a Declan Rice?
Yeah. So I would say yes.
You went there.
I would say personally, I'd be very disappointed if we lose to a Declan Riceless Arsenal. Very disappointed.
You have lost to Declan Riceless Arsenal.
I'm not even going to hold the team and say you must win. I'm saying you must not lose. And I think with the thing is like I'm a positives first.
Wait, did we not beat you before we signed Declan Rice 2-0?
But what I'm saying is that last season when we played, this is the funny thing about Arsenal fans when I talk about Tottenham and Arsenal. The way that Arsenal fans talk about Tottenham and Arsenal, you would think they beat us 4-0 twice last season. They drew with us 2-2 and they beat us 3-2.
What about the last two games?
Hold on, Igal. There was a 1-goal difference across 180 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so what about the last two games?
You take your best defensive midfielder out of your team and you tell me that you don't think that I think we can beat you. Of course I think we can beat you.
What about the last two games?
When we played you,
Wait. You mentioned last season where you were
I mentioned the only season where we've got the same manager. So your manager and my manager both existed at the same time last season.
Oh, that's a good point.
Prior to that is somewhat irrelevant. Yeah. So
it's irrelevant because we beat you 2-0 at your house.
Okay, cool.
And we won at our house. What was it?
10 years.
That's when you had Ramsdale as your keeper. You guys
but if we go back 10 years ago, we've beaten you more times than you've beaten us at our stadium. It depends on. It's okay.
Of course, but in the last
but if you also go by, hold on,
we've been undefeated in your stadium.
If you also want to go, listen. If you also want to go by the full record, we played 195 times. We beat you 87, drawn 55, and you only won 61 times.
Listen. I don't mind. Probably like 40% of those wins happened before the war. Do you know what I mean?
No. These are all permanent wins. I'm not buying into those stats. 195. Listen, I don't trust this man. Okay, Jay.
I'm going to
say it again. Jay, I'm going to say it again.
Check this.
As league teams, 195 games. If you want to count all the other games before we both became league teams, there's 209 games. The history of Tottenham and Arsenal, I will break it down for you every single game by game.
No, it's okay. Whoa. Well, I stopped history in GCSEs. We are not doing history lessons. That is what we're not. But what we're going to do today, my friend Dale, is we're going to talk about the here and now. Because the thing is that you want to talk about those things to make yourself feel better.
No. I just brought them up. I brought them up because
the truth is. You are nervous about this game.
I'm not. Let me tell you why.
You are nervous about this game.
You're not nervous.
You cannot say with your hand on your
heart
that you are coming to our stadium to win. You're looking at this game.
You haven't asked me yet.
Hold on. We're coming to your stadium not only to win, but to keep a clean sheet.
We might be struggling here.
Wow.
We need a
one second. Jay, not only are we coming to your ground to win, we're coming there to leave with a clean sheet.
You're a madman.
That's
You're a
rude.
madman.
So,
That's
You're a
rude.
madman.
You need to ask before you conclude that I'm nervous or I'm scared. You need to
I
ask me.
can see it in your eyes.
You
I
need
can
to
see
ask
it in
me.
your eyes.
I can see in your eyes.
I can see it in your eyes.
I can see your eyes.
I just want to say this, right?
I
First
beat
and
you to
foremost,
it, Ahmed.
no, listen. First and foremost, right?
I can see it in your eyes. You're angry, bro.
A worse Arsenal team, a worse Arsenal
Look at
team
a
in the
man's
past
eyes
without the
is wild.
Declan Rice and even quality
Yeah.
players have beat you before. So without Declan Rice, it doesn't mean nothing to me.
Bro, you
Let
ain't
me tell
beating
you right
us,
now.
bro. You are
But
not
go to-
beating us.
How-
Bro,
listen,
the last game
the-
you beat us
the last-
3-2, yeah?
Hold on, the
Bro,
last
what
Tottenham-
had to
listen,
happen
hold
for
on,
you
hold
to
on,
beat
hold on.
us 3-2?
The last Tottenham.
Own goal?
Listen.
A game where we should have had a penalty? A game where we had a disallowed goal?
last Tottenham.
You caught
Jay,
life
Jay,
the last
Jay,
time you came to our stadium.
Jay,
Watch what happens.
Jay.
Yo,
The last time,
Guys, the 7 days for this. The 7 days for this year.
Hold
There's
on.
still 7 days left,
The
boys.
last time.
literally, I think I'm gonna have to do a 7-day countdown
hold
to the
on.
North London
The last
Derby.
time-
Every
the
day
last
a
time,
countdown shoot.
The last time a Tottenham fan did this, we had a bet. He's supposed to wear an Arsenal jersey. He still hasn't done it.
Bro,
Yo, Patrick,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
where's
Yeah,
Patrick,
if your
bro?
game, we'll put another wager on it because I'll keep piling up all of these.
yeah, what you want? What you on the way? Because listen,
All right,
I'll
so-
take
no, no,
Tottenham.
let's go.
Don't
Let's
lose.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Mister,
Let's do
we're
it.
going for the championship. Will you give me Tottenham draw and win, and you're gonna win, or you just go and win?
Arsenal beats Tottenham 2-0. At the North
I have
London
the
Derby,
exact same
2-0.
score.
Okay.
And Jay,
We beat you
all I'm
2-0.
gonna say is,
Yes.
Listen,
I can see in your
the
eyes
thing
you're
is that
angry.
you know what the funniest thing is you guys think that you guys are the only people that have access to
Put
TVs.
your
You think
scoreline
we
down.
don't watch your games?
No,
We
put your
watch your
scoreline down.
games.
Put
I
your
saw you
scoreline
versus
down.
Wolves. You gave
What
us
happened in your last
Put
game,
your
buddy?
You gave
scoreline
up
down.
clear chances to
One
Aston
second, what
Villa.
happened in
You
your last
think
game?
we're not going to create clear chances
What
against
happened
you?
in your last
You're
game?
mad. You're mad.
What just happened in
You
your last
lost
game you
it.
Put
played?
your scoreline
You
down.
lost it.
What happened in the last game you just played?
I don't
We
even care
lost
what
to
happened in the last
Newcastle.
game. Put your
And how
scoreline
No,
would
down.
listen,
you
don't
explain?
do that, bro. Because when you lost to Newcastle, you went on a fucking 7-day mission to let the whole world know how you were robbed. Gabriel got pushed by his own instinct. Bro, you cried when you lost to
There's a
Newcastle.
difference.
Twice in the last 3 years. You
There's a
versus Newcastle.
There's a difference.
Twice in the last
We
3
lost
years.
by
you
one
lost.
goal margin.
So don't
You
even
constantly
go
get
there.
battered by Newcastle.
Bro, don't go there, bro. 2 of the last 3 times you've been to Newcastle, you've lost. Don't act like it can't happen to you. Don't act like it's not even going to make it happen to you again this season.
Have you beaten Newcastle? Have you beaten Newcastle? Or have they not beaten you? What?
Bro, they
6-0,
smashed us up,
4-0?
bro. They've been smashing us up. Newcastle have been.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And
I'm
the manner in
I
which
am
they
fair.
did it.
Newcastle
One second.
have been smashing us up
My
over the last
manager's
few
not
years.
stubborn like your manager. My manager's
Pardon?
not stubborn like your manager.
Then come
He
here and
views
park the
what
bus,
other people
bro.
do.
Come park the bus. Come
He
do
views what
what
other
you
people
cried
do.
about Mourinho doing to your club for years. Come to our stadium, park the bus, and still don't leave with the W.
You want to know something?
Jay,
We
what is
left
your
the last 2
prediction?
times with the W.
Let's
Last
make
time,
it easy.
we beat you so bad
That
in the
glass of
first
wine's
half.
empty now.
We
Yeah.
didn't even play football second half.
Okay, cool, bro. Cool, that's fine, bro. That's fine.
You
beat
got
us,
forget the
you
last
beat us
time.
so badly in
Jay,
that first half.
Jay,
Hold on, one
Jay,
sec,
what's
one
your
sec, bro.
prediction?
One sec.
What's your
You know what?
prediction?
One sec, bro. Because
After your team,
hold on, Igal, you beat us so badly in the first half. Højbjerg own goal. Romero post. Tottenham disallowed goal.
What about
Kulusevski should have had a penalty before Saka scored.
Oh, now you're talking about excuses.
No offense. No offense. Everything went for you in that game. I'm not saying you deserve to win, but I'm saying that everything went for you in that game. You cannot have the same
Everything went for
next
us.
time you come.
You know what went for us? You know what went for us?
Watch what happens.
What went for us?
Watch what happens.
I have her scoring a goal. That went for us.
You did,
You know
bro.
what went
Listen,
for us?
I'm just telling you, Igal. Everything went for you in that game. If you do not look at that game and think everything went for you, as in the luck was on your side, bro, in that game.
The luck, bro. We're the better team. Luck is just luck is just when practice meets opportunity.
Hold on. So Jay,
when practice meets opportunity, that's luck. We're a better team than you. We have a better defense than you.
You create your own luck.
Then tell me you're gonna win, then Igal.
We just told you now 2-0. 2-0.
We are better than you everything.
Squad,
Are you going to win this game, bro? Bro, you are scared, bro. You are scared because you have City away the following week.
Scared.
And
I can tell in your
if
eyes,
you
you're
drop
angry.
points, you are in
regret
serious
on,
trouble.
and what you're feeling right
Bro,
now, you're mad because you ain't like me.
Nah, bro.
You're mad because you ain't
I'm
like
not
me.
scared of your team,
You
bro.
are mad because you ain't
That
like me.
PCFC, I am not concerned about.
Yeah, you know what?
Bro,
You know
your
what's
team
funny?
doesn't
Ain't
worry
like
me, bro.
us.
Do you know
Bro,
what's
you're
funny?
not coming to our stadium and winning this year.
Oh my God! He said they ain't like us.
Nobody from
He
Tottenham
said
can
they
come
ain't
to our
like
ground and
us.
do what we do to you.
This is crazy, bro. This is crazy.
Nobody. Listen, when I say this guy right now, he's mad. You can see in his eyes, he's angry. And
What's
anytime
why
that
am I
Tottenham
angry,
play
bro?
Arsenal, anytime Tottenham play Arsenal, we know we have the psychological advantage.
Bro,
We've
5
beaten you in
goals
your
to
ground,
Arsenal, 4
back-to-back
goals to Tottenham last season.
in your ground.
2-0.
Your fan came and kicked Ramsdale after we went with the home with the 2-0
cool,
win.
bro. Bro, that's absolutely fine, bro.
I'll say this. Jay, you keep talking about
Jay, you're
Arsenal.
terrified.
You keep talking about Arsenal is going to play Man City next. No need to bring up Man City now. What's your business with that?
Cool,
Focus on us. Focus on us. I said prediction 2-0. You tell me your prediction. By the way, listen. Let me finish. Jay, finish.
You're gonna
Let me
go with
finish.
a draw.
By the way, you saying Man City doesn't scare me. I played them 3 times last season and they didn't beat me once.
So wait. Are you also saying you're not scared of Manchester
I'm not
City?
scared of Manchester City anymore. I played you 3 times last season. You didn't beat me once. I'm not saying I'm going to beat you, but I now know how not to let you beat me. There's a big difference. Jay, let's get back to you. I'm giving
Not
a 2-0 prediction. 2-0 prediction.
Listen,
You tell
first
me what
we gotta
your
leave.
prediction is.
First we gotta deal with little bro. Then we'll come meet the boss man.
Little bro, yeah.
That's
Listen,
crazy. Little bro.
However you feel about us is fine. But
Listen,
What's your prediction, Jay? What's your prediction?
I know Liverpool,
you
Man United, and them lot. They try to little bro us, but you're the official little bro of the top 6.
That's fine, bro.
Right?
That's fine, bro. I was always taught to punch up, not punch down. The reason you're saying slice on Tottenham is because
But then why you picking fights with Villa and Newcastle?
Why are you fighting us, bro? Like, listen, we're just small fry, right? You're gonna come to our stadium and you're gonna wipe us out, right?
One second. When somebody puts an obstacle in front of you, you have to surpass that obstacle.
Okay, so you're telling me that you're the obstacle that Ange needs to overcome. So you're telling me that it's time for Ange to overcome the obstacle that is Arsenal. I hear you, Gal. I appreciate.
And you want to know something? Ange doesn't have it in him to change.
Oh, okay.
He's defending.
That's a very clip-worthy thing that you've just said there.
The way you guys play, the script is already written. One ball from the midfielders to Bukayo Saka, in on goal from right hand, boom, slotted across the keeper. Bukario's trying to dive for it. He's gonna have bloody elbows after he tries to slide for it.
Got it. So let me just get.
You guys never had that before? Goalkeeper, you see them with bloody elbows because he slid so far.
I respect Arsenal. I think they're a good team, but the fact of the matter remains, Igal, that you're missing one of your most important midfielders.
And you want to know something? Luckily, we have a guy named Jorginho.
And personally, I don't think, bro, listen.
We have a guy named Thomas Partey.
Bro, I know you're projecting right now because I know.
Why are you trying to make him sound like he's Brazilian?
Bro, you're doing that. This is crazy, man. This is crazy.
You don't know the Thomas Partey.
Thomas Partey talking is crazy, man. That's all I'm saying, man.
Thomas Partey.
You doing that?
Hey,
doing Partey propaganda.
So Jay, let's talk real football. I hear you. Hold on. Listen. No. See, Jay, I hear you when you say Declan Rice not being in the team obviously weakens the Arsenal team in a certain light, and I hear you. But you also have to put into context how we have been playing him. We've been playing him as an 8 and not as the 6. Partey has been playing the 6 role. So the difference is in that 8 role that we're probably going to miss him. So now if we bring in the Jorginho into the 6 role, we can then actually move Partey up further up, right? Have Odegaard. Sorry, but I know. But the last time we played him, even though I gave the ball to your team, we still was a 2-2 tie, right? I think in the other game when we played him, we beat you. We beat you with Jorginho as a 6.
Fortunately,
we beat you with Jorginho as a 6 before, so it's not like I haven't.
Rice was playing, right?
But that's what I'm saying. Rice is playing.
Hey, can you ask me?
What are you saying? What happened
in the second half?
Come back.
What happened in the second half when we played at your stadium when Rice got taken off? We absolutely ran it.
What was the final score?
It was 2-2. Yeah, you escaped with a draw.
So you ran it at my home. You ran it at my home, or you left it a draw.
Oh, dear.
You escaped.
Rice was taken off, and you could not capitalize. It was.
So let me get this right.
So explain to me now.
Hold on, go on.
explain to me now how you just said in your own words, Rice was taken out, and it ended up at the 2-2 draw. Now we don't even have Rice coming to your
right.
stadium,
Okay, so
right?
listen. Okay, so my the point.
So if the last time we did not have Rice, it was a 2-2 draw. What gives you the confidence to think that even now without Rice, you can actually beat us when you've never been able to do it?
Because Rice,
you've never been able to do it.
Because Rice played for 45 minutes in that game, and the 45 minutes that Rice played contributed to you getting a draw. Now this time, Rice will play 0 minutes in this game, and I'm saying that Partey and Jorginho are going to need oxygen masks at the end of this game. If you think that I think that we're going to lose to you, I don't see it. Yeah, I've watched your games.
Okay, what's your prediction? What is your prediction, Jay?
I think we'll beat you 2-1.
I predict 2-0. Okay, so
I
good.
know we won't lose to you because I've watched you against Wolves. You gave them chances. I watched you against Villa. You gave them chances. Yeah, I'm gonna watch you against us, and you're gonna give us chances. Are we gonna take them? We'll see. But you guys acting like we're not going to be able to put you apart, especially without your leading DM,
listen,
nonsensical. We are making chances versus you. You might catch us on the break, but we're definitely cutting you open next Sunday.
Jay, I hear you. You say 2-1, or you're not going to lose. You don't see you guys losing to us. I hear you. I'm going to. You saw us against Wolves. We gave chances. You saw us against this. We did that. You do realize that every game is different, and when it comes to a derby game, usually when it comes to not London derby game, but when it comes to like a derby game with Manchester United as well, the difference is not in whether we're giving you chances or not. There's a lot more emotions riding on this. This is not just about the game. This is not just about this. Is about bragging rights as well. You guys assume that you, with the way you play your high line for life. Yeah, my name's Ange Postecoglu, high line for life, mate. That with that your high line, you think that high line is going to hold against us? I feel bad for you. You'll be penetrated.
Why do you feel bad for us?
You'll be penetrated.
You know what's funny? I always think that.
That accent. The way I said that with that accent, that was hard, man.
The funniest thing for me is that I feel that Arsenal fans get to
high line for life is crazy, man. Honestly,
Allah has so much room in his voice when you say you're gonna get penetrated. But yo, Jay, you're my guy. We have the whole week to talk about.
All right, no worries. All I'm gonna say is he got that little high line for life, mate. Is that it seems that you guys just when you're seeing another team go through the process, you guys think you trademarked process. When you
one second. I don't want to get into
I didn't hear context. I didn't hear nuance. Now you want to kill 1 year Arteta versus 1 year Ange. Let's see. 5 year Arteta is going to lose to 1 year Ange.
1 second. Stop. We cannot do this every single time you get a new manager. One season with
every time you get.
Every year you get a new manager. It's a problem.
One project. You're doing one project, and now you're the connoisseur of projects. Now you know everything. Now you're a project manager.
I'm not saying that. You're saying that, Jay.
And now I'm getting excited.
Jay. Quote Drizzy Drake. I'm not even gonna do that. Let's just keep it moving. Anyways,
Jay, it's not our fault that you change managers every year. Now, the fact that we stuck with our manager, whether he has won something or not, which he has not. Arteta hasn't won anything, and I can say that. But we stuck.
He won an FA Cup. That's more than
half an FA Cup. He got get it right. Half an FA Cup.
Call it whatever you want to call it. The bottom line is this.
You guys won half a league with Man City giving them the win last year.
Hey, anything to stop anyone but you, right? Anyone but you.
They didn't give us anything.
That's what I'm saying. Anyone but you.
I'm surprised I didn't see Tottenham fans celebrating on the trophy celebration. Anyways, we got to wrap it up, people. Ahmed, you got a show coming up.
Yeah, so I got my show obviously around about midnight. It's just a little bit of a FIFA show quickly before I go to sleep. Obviously, a bit of a road to glory with Chelsea. So make sure to tune in, of course.
Vader, you got a show coming up.
I got a show tomorrow. 115, one question, 15 minutes. Check me out. So subscribe. Do you think?
If you could get in the 115 charges?
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, I'm gonna be guilty of some.
It's gonna be a short show.
You think you're gonna get a point deduction?
Tune in and catch the show. Tune in. And
You're
catch
getting jail time.
Can I just say one observation? When all this stuff, like let's be fair. Like in the when all this kind of stuff about Man City was coming about, probably the most vocal team about it was Liverpool fans, and obviously as a result, the rivalry developed between Liverpool fans and City fans. Ever since Arsenal come into the mix, as soon as they start challenging, as soon as there's a possibility, even a small possibility, that they could potentially lose something, they have become the most vocal team about this whole City scenario. They were nowhere. 2 years ago, they were absolutely nowhere. Vader, correct me if I'm wrong.
Do you know why Ronaldo? Do you know why Ronaldo? No.
It's just like the fixtures. It's just like the fixtures. They didn't care. Now
Self-interest. Self-interest. It's self-interest. It's self-interest. Self-interest. I understand.
Apparently, Arsenal was one of the clubs that reported certain things about some of these cases. Yes, we snitched. Yes, we did. If you do wrong, we will snitch on you.
No, but I'm talking about the fan base. I think Liverpool also snitches. I think all the big clubs.
I'm saying, Rax, the Arsenal fan base did not.
Anyways, yeah, we gotta wrap it up, guys. Have a good one, everyone.
Okay. Later.
Peace.